For people listening to this who are not in the military, maybe have some military lineage in their family or not, but who want to understand a little bit better about how structure and lack of structure can both support being effective in life, in relationships, in daily life, in fitness, in business, in school. I think those are the big domains, in creative endeavors. I think it would be useful for them to understand a little bit about how you in particular balance discipline and structure with, dare I say, lack of discipline and structure.
Well, you could actually just say the word freedom, right? Because that's what it turns into.
Yeah, or maybe even play. I bring this up in part because I've seen some posts that you put up of you playing the guitar with friends or music. One of them was a tribute to someone who either was killed in combat or had passed away. So, these moments of connection between people sometimes are working together, but sometimes are in relaxation and play and these kinds of things. And I think it was a really important post for people to see that, wow, Jocko Willink kicks back with a guitar, not trying to take over stages. Maybe you are, maybe you have a plan. If anyone could do it, you'd probably be the one. But what is the balance for you in terms of structure and lack of structure? And I'm not going to ask for your daily routine. We know that you get up early, you train, but I do have some specific questions that I think would be helpful in putting some meat on the kind of the notions about you. And again, this isn't to pick into your life, but more to grab, well, it's to pick into your life. So a question I asked you in the lobby, because it's one that, having seen your content for a long time and really benefited from it, I was curious. You get up early at about 4:30, you train every morning. How long do you train for? And is there any global structure to that? And of course, everyone needs different programs, but is it like weight training one day, cardio training the next day? Are you combining them? Is it always an hour? Is it always half an hour? I think people would benefit from getting a little bit more understanding of what that looks like for you, with the caveat that everyone has different needs, levels of, background, et cetera. But I'm intensely curious about this, and I'm certain I'm not the only one.
So do you want to talk about weightlifting or rock and roll on the guitar?
I want to talk about, let's talk about the most structured first part of your day, and then let's talk about the least structured part of your day, at least the part that you can share with the world.
Yeah, waking up early, and I'm going to work out, and depending on what's going on that day, if I have an early flight, I might work out for 8 minutes, right? I might go in and do 2,000 meters on the rower, get a sweat going hard as I can, and then I'm done. And because I got to go catch a flight. So that could be happening. Maybe I'm supposed to go surfing in the morning. I wake up, the waves are terrible. And so now I've got nothing to do. I've planned out, to be surfing for 2 or 3 hours. And now I'm not going to go surfing. So I'm going to go lift, and I'm going to go play in the gym and do a bunch of stuff. And I'm going to spend 2 or 3 hours in there. I love doing that. So the workout could be anywhere between, what I just say, 8 minutes and 3 hours. And it could be anything in between. I fully enjoy the physical aspect of working out. So if I have more time to spend in the gym, I'll spend it. I remember my dad saying at one point, if I retired, I wouldn't know what to do. And I was thinking to myself, are you serious right now? If I didn't have anything to do, I'd spend 6 hours a day in the gym. I'd spend 4 hours doing jujitsu. Like I could fill my day. I could fill every day with just physical activity, things that I just like doing. So wake up early, get a sweat going. And do I lift? Yes. Do I do cardio? Yes. Do I run? Yes. Do I sprint? Yes. Do I lift heavy weights? Yes. Do I swing kettlebells? Yes. I do everything and anything, and I enjoy all of it. And I'm not really good at any of it. I'm not really good at any one aspect of physical activity. There's people that are infinitely better at me in every aspect of, and I'm not just talking about, this guy's a world-class lifter. No, there's like a guy named Fred down at the gym that can deadlift more than me. There was a guy, when I was at SEAL Team 2, there was a guy who was probably 5'7", and he looked kind of chubby, and he was older than me, and he could run faster than me, and he could bench more than me.
Those guys that are out there.
It was just so bothersome.
Yeah, they're out there. They got some engine in there related to something. I mean, I do think there are genetic differences in terms of people's resilience and workout, but even just grip strength is highly subject to like genetic influences, maximum grip strength. But of course, there's a huge range in what people can develop. But I guarantee your grip strength is greater than mine. People ask me this all the time: who would win in arm wrestling between you and Jocko? I'm like, Jocko. Who win in jiu-jitsu? Jocko.
There's a lot of technique in arm wrestling.
I have to imagine they're putting their body behind it. They're putting their
it's
back
not just
in.
that. Like there's legitimate technique in arm wrestling.
There's hope for me yet.
Yeah, like if we could bring a female arm wrestler in here that knows how to arm wrestle, because I don't know how to arm wrestle either, and she would beat both of us. Because there's a lot more technique in arm wrestling than most people recognize. There's all these little games that are going on. There's all this little arm position that you get. So just like everything else, it's technique. There's a lot of technique in arm wrestling.
That's good to know. I didn't know that about arm wrestling. I think we all start off with some genetic predispositions, both good and bad for different things. And then there's, as far as we know, there's a huge range based through neuroplasticity and muscle adaptation, et cetera, in what we can obtain. So I never want genetic predisposition to serve as a barrier. No one knows also what the upper limits of any of these things are. And some of the best examples we know from sport and certainly from academia are people who knew they were at a disadvantage and just worked 10 times harder than everybody else because they had an axe to grind with their genetic disadvantage, which is really cool at the face of it.